Freedom is a big value for us. Freedom to experience life while you have it is huge. We have so much stuff in our life. Where's our money going? Towards stuff or creating experiences? And experiencing life that you love and can explore and enjoy. So I think any financial plan that you have in life has to mirror this. It has to be congruent to your values. Otherwise, how is it going to work? If you say your financial plan needs to have security, you better be sure that whatever financial products you have in place are going to meet that value. What mindset are you is a reality check. What comes to mind when I say scarcity and abundance? Anyone? Scarcity for me was worrying about money and having to work my butt off to make as much money as I could. Abundance for me, on the other end, is having a security plan and money that I know is going to always be there, or a passive income that I can rely on is abundance, and knowing that that money is there so I can spend more time with my family and create more experiences. We have to look at the myths around money. So I was spreading some risk around, and apparently it all wound up in your portfolio. That's from the New Yorker. Awesome cartoon there. So what comes to mind when we think about investing? One of the money myths that I had growing up was investing was this. Your money is saving. Investing was saving. Do you think that's true? Do you think that's a myth? Yeah, very good. You're not. Excellent. Here's the truth. Investing is taking on risk and volatility where you can lose all your money. And I was always thinking, geez, I'm investing. You know what? I'm saving. And I know I have to take on volatility and risk to actually save my money. But it really became a myth that I didn't know about until I started to look at the investments that I had and realized that really that wasn't true. And the investing side, frankly, didn't match what we call your investor DNA, meaning that you really understood that investment, that it matched your values, and that was going to create opportunity for you because you loved that investment. You knew everything about it, and you knew how to exit that investment. You knew everybody that was planning that investment, and that matched your own investor DNA. So the myth was that, geez, you know what, saving is investing. Not true. I don't want to lose every penny. So there's a big difference between saving and investing. And the myth around saving is your money doesn't grow when you save. It's like lazy money. Putting it into where? Into the backyard? Into under your bed or mattress, right? Was that saving too? And could you grow on that money? Obviously, you're not going to grow in a shoebox, are you? The actual truth is there's plans out there that actually can grow your savings, where preservation is key, where you don't lose your money. You actually maintain that money for your future. And that's very powerful, that side of saving versus investing, and how you've got to figure out how to separate those two. That's what's called the accumulation phase in the financial world, which is building your assets to a certain point where you have an amount of money sitting on top of the mountain. Now, would you love to stay on top of the mountain, everybody? Would you? Yeah, why not? It's beautiful. Eventually, you have to probably come down. So the accumulation phase is building up the wealth that you have for your future in your retirement years. Obviously, we want to live the life we love now, and we want to experience life now, as I mentioned earlier. I think you've got to have a balance between just accumulation and using your dollar today to create the experiences in your life or the opportunities in your life now. But eventually, you do need to have money down the road. There are not going to be cheaper Bahama cruises. Are you going to want to have, you know, not the prime rib and have a round steak? Probably not. Are you going to be able to afford to top up your plan later? No. So we've got to make sure we have enough. And that's what's called the distribution phase. And that's coming down the mountain. Because if you end up having to go into long-term care later, we want to make sure there's a set amount of money that's going to be allocated to the long-term care. Because I don't know if your kids are going to want to take care of you. So this is some things that we want to think about when we want to have financial control for life, is actually 67% of all fatalities on the descent on Everest. And what does that mean? They didn't have enough resources coming down, didn't have enough skills, maybe had too much risk perhaps coming down, were really didn't take the time to come down properly. And that was an issue, right? Obviously. So in this case, we use this as making sure that we have enough money to ensure it's there until we end up leaving this place. And that's key, is the distribution phase. Whether it's 3 or 4% is really kind of the number. 5 is typically sometimes too high, and you end up running out of money when we run the scenarios of those calculations based on how much money you need to have that income for your future. So it's all about, okay, I need X amount of money for my conscious spending to live the lifestyle I want in my 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Obviously, you're not going to be traveling as much in your 80s, 90s, but you never know. One of our mentors is 86 and travels around North America and does presentations. You don't know. But we want to make sure that's always there on the distribution phase. Tax is a big issue, right, for all of us. It's not to say we're going to not pay tax, but what if we could pay less tax? And what's the impact of tax on that distribution we talked about coming down the mountain? So in this question here, if we take $1 and we double it over the 20-year period for every year, how much do we have after 20 years? Anybody take a stab at it? How much? Oh, very good. Have you been here before? I'm kidding. Nicely done. Now, what's the impact of tax on this amount of money, do you think? If you're taxed at 30% a year, how much do you think we have at the 20-year mark? Anybody? $40,000 at a 30% tax bracket. Now, we know that some people have higher incomes, are paying maximum tax rates in Canada, in other provinces, in BC. What's the impact of a 46% tax bracket on that $1 million, do you think? How much do you think we have? Not a lot, unfortunately, $5,852. So why are we putting this slide up? Well, we focus on control for life, but how can we have tax-free income? We're going to pay tax, but are there ways in your financial plan to create a tax-free environment? Yes, there is, and that's what we want to show, is that we want to have financial control and keep more of our money. And if I can have to pay out, this much tax, it's huge.